The ancient Egyptians were obsessed with the afterlife. Their entire civilization was deeply rooted in the belief that life continued beyond death. This belief influenced every aspect of their culture, from their grand architectural achievements to their daily rituals and practices. They believed that death was not the end, but a transition to a different realm. This realm was a complex and mystical place filled with gods, spirits, and the promise of eternal life. The journey to this realm was fraught with challenges, but it was also a journey of hope and renewal. This belief fueled their elaborate burial rituals and magnificent tombs. The Egyptians spent a considerable amount of time and resources preparing for the afterlife. They constructed grand tombs and filled them with everything they believed the deceased would need in the next world. They filled these tombs with treasures and provisions for the deceased to use in the afterlife. These items included food, clothing, jewelry, and even furniture. The wealthier the individual, the more elaborate the tomb and its contents. Pharaohs in particular were buried with immense treasures reflecting their status and power. The pyramids themselves were designed to be gateways to the afterlife. These monumental structures were not just tombs, they were symbols of the pharaoh's divine power and their journey to join the gods in the afterlife. The construction of these pyramids required immense skill and labor, reflecting the importance of the afterlife in Egyptian society. They were not just tombs, but powerful symbols of resurrection and eternal life. The pyramids were aligned with the stars and the cardinal points, reflecting the Egyptians' sophisticated understanding of astronomy and their belief in the cosmic order. The Sphinx, with its enigmatic gaze, stood as a guardian of these sacred sites. Inside these pyramids, archaeologists have found intricate paintings and hieroglyphics. These artworks were not merely decorative, they served a vital purpose in guiding the deceased through the afterlife. The hieroglyphics contained spells and incantations from the Book of the Dead, a collection of texts designed to help the deceased navigate the underworld. These images depict the journey the deceased would take through the underworld. This journey was a perilous one, filled with trials and tribulations. The deceased would encounter various gods and monsters, each presenting a challenge that had to be overcome. The journey was a test of the deceased's purity and righteousness. The journey was perilous and filled with trials. The deceased had to pass through a series of gates, each guarded by a different deity. They had to recite specific spells and incantations to gain passage. The ultimate goal was to reach the Hall of Judgment, where their heart would be weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. However, the Egyptians believed that with proper preparation and a pure heart, the deceased could navigate these obstacles. They believed that the heart, the seat of the soul, must be free of sin and impurity. Amulets and charms were placed with the deceased to provide protection and guidance. The ankh, a symbol of life, was often included to ensure the deceased's rebirth. They would then reach a paradise known as the Field of Reeds, a place of eternal peace and abundance. This paradise was a mirror image of their earthly life, but without suffering or hardship. It was a place where the deceased could live forever in happiness, surrounded by their loved ones and the things they cherished. A mirror image of their earthly life, but with eternal abundance and happiness. The Field of Reeds was depicted as a lush, fertile land, much like the banks of the Nile. It was a place where the deceased could continue their favorite activities, such as farming, fishing, and feasting for all eternity. This vision of the afterlife provided comfort and hope to the ancient Egyptians, reinforcing their belief in the continuity of life beyond death. The ancient Egyptians placed immense importance on the human heart. To them, the heart was not just a physical organ, but a profound symbol of life and existence. It was central to their understanding of the human body and soul. They believed it was the seat of intelligence, emotion, and morality. The heart was thought to be the source of wisdom and the center of a person's thoughts and feelings. It was where all emotions, from love to anger, were believed to originate. The heart was also seen as the repository of moral integrity, guiding individuals in their actions and decisions. It was not simply an organ that pumped blood, but the core of a person's being. The heart was considered the essence of one's identity, holding the secrets of one's character and the truth of one's life. It was the most vital part of a person, embodying their very essence and spirit. This belief played a crucial role in their concept of the afterlife. The Egyptians envisioned the afterlife as a continuation of one's earthly existence, where the heart's purity and truthfulness were paramount. The heart was believed to be the key to a successful journey through the afterlife, ensuring that the deceased could navigate the challenges and trials they would face. When a person died, the Egyptians believed that their heart retained all their memories, experiences, and character. It was thought to be the vessel that carried the essence of the individual into the afterlife. The heart was seen as a living record of one's life, holding every thought, action, and emotion experienced during their lifetime. It was this essential part of them that would face judgment in the afterlife. The heart was believed to be weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. This ceremony, known as the weighing of the heart, was a critical moment in the journey to the afterlife. If the heart was found to be lighter than the feather, the soul was deemed pure and granted eternal life. If it was heavier, the soul faced dire consequences. Unlike other organs, the heart was not removed during the mummification process. The Egyptians took great care to preserve the heart within the body, believing it was essential for the deceased's journey in the afterlife. The heart was often left in place, while other organs were removed and stored in canopic jars. It was carefully preserved within the body. The mummification process was intricate and meticulous, designed to ensure that the heart remained intact and protected. This preservation was crucial, as the heart was believed to be the key to the deceased's identity and their ability to navigate the afterlife. The Egyptians believed that the heart needed to be intact for the deceased to navigate the afterlife successfully. The heart was thought to guide the soul through the various stages of the afterlife, helping it to overcome obstacles and reach its final destination. Without the heart, the soul would be lost and unable to complete its journey. They also believed that the heart played a vital role in the weighing of the heart ceremony. This ceremony was a pivotal moment in the afterlife, determining the fate of the soul. The heart was weighed against the feather of Ma'at, and the outcome of this weighing decided whether the soul would be granted eternal life or face annihilation. This ceremony determined the fate of their soul in the afterlife. The weighing of the heart was a solemn and significant event, reflecting the Egyptians' deep belief in the importance of truth and justice. The heart's purity was seen as a reflection of the individual's life, and its judgment was the ultimate test of their moral integrity. The outcome of this ceremony was believed to be final, sealing the soul's fate for eternity. The ancient Egyptians believed that powerful gods presided over the afterlife. These deities were not just figures of worship, but were integral to the very fabric of their understanding of life, death, and what lay beyond. The afterlife was a complex and meticulously structured realm, governed by divine beings who ensured that order and justice prevailed even in death. Each god had a specific role in the journey of the deceased and in the judgment process. The journey to the afterlife was fraught with challenges and trials, and it was believed that the gods provided guidance and protection to the souls of the departed. The deceased had to navigate through various stages, each overseen by different deities, to reach their final resting place. Three of the most important deities were Anubis, Ma'at, and Osiris. These gods formed a triad that was central to the Egyptian belief system regarding the afterlife. Each of them had distinct responsibilities and attributes that contributed to the overall process of judgment and rebirth. Anubis, the jackal-headed god, was the guardian of the underworld and the protector of the dead. He was often depicted with the head of a jackal, symbolizing his connection to cemeteries and the protection of graves. Anubis was a pivotal figure in ensuring that the dead were treated with respect and that their bodies were preserved for eternity. He oversaw the mummification process, ensuring that the body was properly prepared for its journey to the afterlife. Mummification was a sacred ritual that involved intricate procedures to preserve the body, and Anubis was believed to guide the embalmers in their work. This process was crucial, as it was thought that the soul needed a well-preserved body to return to in the afterlife. Anubis also played a crucial role in the weighing of the heart ceremony. This ceremony was a key part of the judgment process, where the heart of the deceased was weighed against the feather of Ma'at. Anubis was responsible for ensuring that the scales were balanced and that the judgment was fair. Ma'at was the goddess of truth, justice, and cosmic order. She embodied the principles of balance and harmony that were essential to the Egyptian worldview. Ma'at was often depicted with an ostrich feather, which symbolized her role in maintaining the order of the universe. Her feather represented truth, balance, and righteousness. It was a symbol of the ethical and moral standards that the Egyptians strived to uphold in their lives. The feather of Ma'at was not just a physical object, but a representation of the divine law that governed both the living and the dead. In the weighing of the heart ceremony, the deceased's heart was weighed against Ma'at's feather. This was a test to determine the purity and righteousness of the individual's soul. If the heart was lighter than the feather, it indicated that the person had lived a virtuous life. This determined whether the person had lived a life in accordance with truth and harmony. If the heart was found to be heavier, it meant that the person had committed sins and was not worthy of entering the afterlife. The outcome of this ceremony was crucial as it decided the fate of the soul. Osiris, the god of the underworld and rebirth, was the ruler of the afterlife. He was a central figure in Egyptian mythology, representing death, resurrection, and eternal life. Osiris was often depicted as a mummified king, symbolizing his role as the eternal ruler of the afterlife. He was the judge who determined the fate of the deceased based on the outcome of the weighing of the heart ceremony. Osiris presided over the final judgment, where he decided whether the soul would be granted eternal life or face annihilation. His judgment was seen as final and absolute. Osiris represented resurrection and the promise of eternal life for those deemed worthy. He was a symbol of hope and renewal, offering the possibility of rebirth to those who had lived in accordance with Ma'at's principles. The belief in Osiris's power to grant eternal life was a source of comfort and inspiration for the ancient Egyptians. The journey to the afterlife was a central theme in ancient Egyptian culture, and the roles of Anubis, Ma'at, and Osiris were integral to this journey. Their combined efforts ensured that the deceased were judged fairly and given the opportunity for eternal life. The belief in these gods and their roles in the afterlife provided a framework for understanding death and the possibility of life beyond it. The ancient texts and hieroglyphics provide a wealth of information about the beliefs and practices surrounding the afterlife. They offer insights into the rituals, ceremonies, and the importance of the gods in guiding the souls of the deceased. These texts are a testament to the rich spiritual and cultural heritage of ancient Egypt. Today, the legacy of Anubis, Ma'at, and Osiris continues to captivate the imagination of people around the world. Archaeological discoveries and ongoing research continue to shed light on the intricate belief systems of the ancient Egyptians. The enduring fascination with these deities and their roles in the afterlife speaks to the timeless nature of their stories and the universal quest for understanding life, death, and what lies beyond. The temples and monuments dedicated to these gods stand as a testament to their enduring significance. They remind us of the profound impact that these deities had on the lives of the ancient Egyptians and their understanding of the cosmos. The reverence for Anubis, Ma'at, and Osiris continues to inspire awe and respect, highlighting the deep spiritual connection that the ancient Egyptians had with their gods. As the sun sets over the Nile, casting a golden glow over the ancient ruins, one can almost feel the presence of these powerful deities. Their stories, etched in stone and preserved through the ages, continue to resonate with us, reminding us of the timeless quest for truth, justice, and eternal life.